This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah! Alright, the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
Talking Heads with Nazi and MJ is brought to you by Burger King, Fine Threads, the Free National Movement, John's Department Store, Kelly's Home Center, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, the Progressive Liberal Party, and Tropical Gyros.
You was being had, don't that make you mad?
And welcome to another edition of Talking Heads. No, this is not Naughty, this is not MJ, this is Kahuna Kusara. And I'm here with you until the 6 o'clock hour here on 96.9 Guardian Radio. Fresh news, smart talk all day. I'm happy to be here with you. Here's how you can become a talking head.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
The numbers are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and the Family of Violence, 242-300-5720. Of course, that's toll free. Text line is powered by BTC. And that number is 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. We're also streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or PTC Flow Channel 612. A lot going on. Let's check out the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
Public disclosures are worthless. Pastor and professor describe wealth claims as useless without independent verification. Ah, boy, a local pastor and a university professor have dismissed politicians' public financial disclosures as useless and worthless without independent verification, warning that the lack of oversight is fueling public mistrust. Reverend Philip Stubbs and Professor Dr. Ian Strawn spoke to the Tribune following the publication of the financial disclosures, showing that more than 50, count them, 1, 2, 4, 5, 50 millionaires are seeking public office. Oh, wow. Reverend Stubbs said public reaction has been largely skeptical, with many questioning the credibility of the disclosures. You can check it out in the Tribune today. What else is going on in the headlines? PLP holds another rally in Abaco, while the F&M stops in Andres. So the rallying continues. In the Guardian, the Pike deal is mired in confusion. No clear explanation for Pike exit from Bahamas Grid Company management. Really? No clear explanation? Okay. In other news, Barnaby says every dollar spent at beaches and parks can be accounted for. And so is the spreadsheet underneath this headline or no? Because he says so, right? Davis, we're serious about immigration. Okay. No immigration crisis. But he's serious about, yeah. Okay. The PLP is desperate to keep power, says Pintard. And so, of course, the politicking keeps politicking. The word for me today is transparency. That's right. Transparency. We see this theme being played out over and over again in our country where, like Dr. Ian Strawn and Reverend Philip Stubbs have mentioned, that the public disclosures are worthless unless there is some type of independent verification, right? This idea of, 50 millionaires, 50. Wow. If you're a millionaire, call into the show today, man. I want to talk to a millionaire today. you know? And why didn't you run, millionaire, right? But I want to go back to basics today because, you know, my mind was on transparency for the past couple of days, and I'm not a financial whiz by any expert, by any means, rather, but I'm always concerned that in our country, we get to this point too often, right? So I'm going to go through something that a lot of you probably already know, right? But I'm sure there are a lot of us who don't know, right? So how government spending is accounted for in the Bahamas. How do we account for it, right? So number one, there's a legal and a policy framework, right? The fiscal year, right? The budgetary year is from July 1st to June 30th, all right? That's number one. Well, that's part of number one. The budget, the parliament must approve an annual budget before the fiscal year starts. So before July 1st, there must be a fiscal budget that is approved. This is the quote unquote ultimate reference point for all public spending. All public spending, the reference point is the budget. All right, going back to basics because we got to get to transparency. Going back to basics. The government has rules. All right, spending follows the Constitution, right? Financial Administration and Audit Act, and Public Finance Management Framework, okay? The Securities Commission handles digital assets, but Ministry of Finance plus the Treasury manage public funds. Y'all follow me now, work with me. We want to get to transparency, all right? The second major few points, the budget process, all right? There's a preparation. Right? Ministries, they submit their estimates. Keyword estimates. They don't really know, but they got an estimate, right? The ministries submit estimates. All right. Ministry of Finance sets expenditure ceilings. Don't spend no more than this. All right. Which is the upper limits on what each can spend. Right. Then you have an approval process. Right. Cabinet approves. Then the parliament debates and passes the appropriation bill. This becomes the approved budget. All right. We know it's not really a debate, especially when, you know, the House is lopsided, right? But they call it a debate nonetheless. Once this appropriation bills becomes the approved budget, then there's the execution. All right. The Treasury releases funds to the ministries or the departments, right? Payments must match approved budget lines. Let's say that again. Payments must match approved budget lines. Okay. This is the part where the transparency, you know, it gets a little murky, a little muddy, right? The government publishes, they say, monthly reports, mid-year reports, and annual financial statements on, check this out, bahamasbudget.gov.bs. .bs. Okay? .bs. bahamasbudget.gov. .what? .bs. Okay. Now, the third group of we're going to go to the phone lines in just a second. The third group of important things that we must discuss to get back to basics is what this spending covers. Okay? The budget breaks spending into categories. So you have recurrent expenditure. That's the day-to-day running of the government. Compensation of employees, the use of goods and services such as utilities, supplies, services, minor repairs. You have public debt interests. You have subsidies. You have grants. You have social assistance. You have pensions. You have insurance premiums and other payments. All right, that's the recurrent expenditure. That's coming every month, every quarter, however. Right, that's recurrent. Then you have capital expenditure. Right, payments for fixed assets. Land or intangible assets, right? Roads, schools, buildings, equipment. All right? Y'all stay with me now because transparency. All right? The fourth group of things that we need to talk about fundamentally when it comes to the budget is the accounting method. All right? The Bahamas uses modified accrual / cash basis with IMF government financed statistics. So you have revenue, that's the tax revenue like VAT, customs duties, departure taxes, plus non-tax revenue like fees and dividends. Then you have the fun word you've been hearing a lot about in the news, expenditure. That's spending. That's the spend part. Expend. You got to put an S in that expenditure. Expenditure. Recorded when payments are made or liabilities incurred. Goods and services spending was 21.6% of total expenditure in 2023. All right. Then you have the deficit / the surplus. Of course, the present government promised that there would be a surplus in the next, budget debate. They would talk about this surplus, but we're not going to get there, so that's fine. All right. The budget deficit equals the excess of total expenditure over revenue in a fiscal year. So you bring in more than you spend, you got a surplus. You spend more than you bring in, you got a deficit. Follow me now. All right. The fifth group of things that we want to talk about with regard to the budget and how the government deals with the budget, oversight and transparency. This part. So there's an auditor general. All right. The auditor general independently audits government accounts after year end, reports to Parliament. That's the Auditor General's job. Okay? Then there's supposed to be public reporting, all right? Budget documents, bills, monthly / mid-year reports published at what? bahamasbudget.gov.bs. That's right, .bs. bahamasbudget.gov.what? .bs. All right. Y'all working with me. Good. I can hear you. Very good. The third thing is the IMF / the World Bank. All right. They track spending using a general governmental final consumption expenditure, and that equals all current spending for goods and services plus the employee compensation, excluding military capital formation. All right. Then there's the direct charge, tracks debt owed to local foreign holders. All right. So the bottom line is every dollar must be approved by Parliament in the annual budget, spent under the Ministry of Finance / the Treasury controls, categorized as recurrent or capital, and audited by the Auditor General. All reports are public. Where? bahamasbudget.gov.what.bs. .what.bs. All right. So this back and forth that you don't need to keep saying no. Every cent is accounted for. The 141 million, it's accounted. Just show us where it's accounted for, please. Just go ahead and show us. Just do that for us, right? It's so important because if we are to be taken seriously by the electorate or even the world, see how the world marks the manner of your bearing, right? If we're going to be taken serious, we got to be able. We don't need to be asking you about nothing. Just show us. .bs. Remember, right? Phone lines are open. I see the phone lines are lit. Let me just go to the phone line. I got some more to talk about in transparency, but let me hear what the caller's got to say. Caller, you're live on Talking Heads.
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, Mr. Enius.
How are you, sir, Sparky?
Well, let me tell you something. My first dentist was Mr. Burnside on top of Fort Hill.
Mm-hmm.
My next dentist was your grandfather, Dr. Enius.
Mm-hmm.
My next dentist was Eddie Bailey from Chippenham, and then Fritzy, your daddy.
All right.
You left here as number 3rd.
Yep. Came back as number 3rd, too.
Justin Enius the 3rd.
Yeah. Cleveland Enius the 3rd.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Justin and Gully Enius, they're your cousins there.
Yeah, Justin is my
you
uncle.
You go on here as Justin Enius the 3rd. You go and get educated over there.
Yeah, like the rest of them before me. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you come back now. Mm-hmm. Now, when you come back as Justin Enius the 3rd.
Cleveland.
Also known as who?
Cleveland Enius the 3rd. Cleveland.
Cleveland Indians III, also known as who?
Anku Sarah.
Hello?
Anku Sarah.
Now you changed from Justin Anku to Rock.
No, I changed from
Now that's
Cleveland
what I got
to
you now.
Anku. Go
I
ahead.
can't remember how to pronounce that, so I say, hey, brother Justin Indians III.
Cleveland Indians III. I bet you those, Sparky. Go ahead.
Justin was my kidney man. I
Yeah.
want you out of there.
Huh?
I-75.
Yes,
near
sir.
the fort.
Yes, sir.
Before I go now, that's why I called you early.
Mm-hmm.
And what you always say? Government this, that, BS.
Yeah, Bahamas.
Uh-huh.
Let me give you the website. See, this is where you're supposed to be able to go and see the reports
Uh-huh.
of where the government, is spending and how they're spending. Bahamasbudget.gov.bs.
Uh-huh. And that's what number 52 is telling you. The BS mean bull something.
Skates, something. Thank you so much, Sparky. Sparky got to get that first call in. I appreciate you calling, Sparky. Texas says, good day, Doc. Good day, Doc. I know what you mean by .bs. You keep saying it loud. That's right, .bs. You understand? Let's see what this other text says. Election officials have to be extremely observant. Persons coming to vote with camera glasses. Wow. Camera glasses. These glasses can record in real time. It can be used for corruption, bribery in the booth. We'll see you vote in real time. What measures will be put in place to prevent this advanced technology? Wow, that's a very a good point. I guess you shouldn't be allowed to wear, I guess, glasses or shades. They got to look to see what these meta glasses, I guess, the styles they come in, or they got to be some a way to test to see if a person is wearing some type of meta shades or glasses. But that's a very good point, Texter. But countries with the best government financial transparency mechanism, I figure there must be a model. There must be countries out here that actually have good transparency records, right? So I said, let me just check out and see the countries with the best government financial transparency mechanisms, right? So this is based on the IMF Fiscal Transparency Code, Open Budget Survey. This is 2023. And U.S. State Department reviews. Here are the leaders and why. All right. The top performers by IMF Fiscal Transparency Evaluations. The IMF's Fiscal Transparency Code is the global standard. Countries that score advanced or good on most principles. Okay, well, coming out the gate, you got the United Kingdom. Wow, look at that. The people who colonized us, who gave us their language, who gave us their political system, the Westminster system, who gave us their churches, who gave us driving on the left-hand side of the road, who gave us drinking tea in 80 and 90 degree weather. Okay, the United Kingdom, rated highly versus other countries, 33 of 46 principles equal good or advanced. Comprehensive public sector balance sheet. All right, so this is why they're so good. They have a comprehensive public sector balance sheet, a high-quality forecast, and strong fiscal risk reporting. Strong fiscal risk reporting. Okay, so these are some of the things, whoever's going to be taking on this job after May 12th, maybe we need to just look at the people who colonized this, who we're trying to mimic in every other way. Just maybe you could mimic this as well. You have also Austria, right? They meets good or advanced on 24 of the 36 principles. All right. Fiscal reports consolidate general government in line with ESA 2010, timely, high quality. All right. Colombia, 6 of 12 indicators rated advanced for physical forecasting, budgeting, strong legislative budget approval, credible forecasts, 10-year fiscal plan, not like 5 years and then stop, review, and cancel, right? Independent compliance evaluation. Then you have South Africa, strongest in fiscal reporting, followed by forecasting budgeting. So these are just some examples, right? Top performers by Open Budget Survey, right? So the Open Budget Survey. So I learned a lot of this as I was reading today and yesterday as I was these were just questions that I had. I'm like, why do we always get to this point? And when it's time to have an election, then all of a sudden, I swear to you, all the money can be accounted for. Like, just report it. All right, the Open Budget Survey is the only independent global measure. It scores 0 to 100 on transparency. All right, 61 plus equals publishing enough material for public debate. Right, so out of 100, you got to have a 61 plus. All right, publishing enough material for public debate. So some of the main countries, the best transparency scores in 2023, South Korea, they had a 65 out of 100 for public participation, the highest globally, right? New Zealand had a 55, right? So that only South Korea was over 61. Wow. All right. New Zealand, 55 out of 100. United Kingdom, 54 out of 100. Georgia, 44 out of 100. And Australia and France, 37 out of 100. So overall transparency, countries above 61 publish the 8 key budget documents online, on time, and comprehensive. Let's say it together, boys and girls. Online, on time, and comprehensive. Can our government officials get be lockstep with this? Can they publish these things online, on time, and comprehensively? Is it possible? I'm just asking because other countries doing it. Examples include most of the OECD countries, right? Best for public participation in South Korea, New Zealand, UK, Dominican Republic, and Georgia. Now, the U.S. State Department 2023 Fiscal Transparency Report. Just going down all of these global standards, right? 72 countries met minimum requirements for fiscal transparency. This means this is the minimum requirement. Budget documents are public. Substantially complete, and reliable, right? There's also natural resource contracts / transparency processes followed. Then there's audits of the SOEs and the government accounts exist. So we got to get to a point where we're not really asking you nothing about where the money was spent. We should just be able to go online, .bs, right? bahamasbudget.gov.bs and just see everything. Now, I know there's stuff up there, but the fact that we having this back and forth during the election period means that there's stuff that's not being done. Notable on the list, the Bahamas. Look at that. We made the list. We did the minimum. U.S., Canada, most of EU, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, Chile, Uruguay, South Africa, Botswana, Malaysia, and the Philippines. What makes these countries best? Key mechanisms, right? They have comprehensive fiscal reporting, whole of government balance sheets, frequent, timely reports. That's the UK and Austria lead here. Then there are independent oversight. National audit bodies appointed by a legislature publish reports. National audit bodies appointed by a legislature publish reports. Then there's the IMF code that requires this, the open budget documents, pre-budget statements, executive budget proposal, and enacted budget, in-year reports, mid-year reviews, year-end reports, audit reports, citizens' budgets, all online. This is transparency. The word today right now is transparency. The fourth thing, public participation. Formal channels for citizens to engage in budget formulation / execution / audit. South Korea ranks number 1 in this. So that's a thing. Public participation, formal channels for citizens to engage in budget formulation / execution / audit. That's a thing, people. People in South Korea, they're number 1 at that. All right, the fifth thing, the fiscal risk, comprehensive summary of Marco debt, SOE, and long-term risks. The UK was first to commit to this in 2017. Then there are the legal frameworks, fiscal responsibility laws, organic budget law, Freedom of Information Acts, Freedom of Information. Colombia's fiscal responsibility law plus 10-year plan is advanced. Then there's digital access, all right? Machine readable data, open data portals. Indonesia working toward real-time open data via new FMIS. Now, how the Bahamas compares. The Bahamas meets minimum standard. We meet minimum standard. U.S. State Department says the Bahamas meets minimum requirements. All right? Spending reviews. This is how the Bahamas compares. Bahamas is one of 7 LAC countries doing spending reviews as of 2022. One of 7. All right? Room to improve. Here's how the Bahamas compares. Room to improve. OBS data for Bahamas not in the top tier. Common gaps in LAC, all right? The Latin American countries. All right, fewer countries publish ministers' agendas, asset declarations, or senior civil servant salaries. All right, so we're basically, you know, we're right along with the D average, right? I guess we're a C average in this realm, right? And so at the end of the day. If we're only doing the bare minimum to meet, you know, the requirements of, I guess, was the global standards, then we see why we're in the predicament that we're in. I'm going to read some of what Candia Dames put in the paper in just a bit. But let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you live.
Mr. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am well. How are you, sir?
Wow. It's a pleasure to hear you today.
Pleasure to hear you too, sir. Thanks for calling.
Sir. I have a confession to make as a Christian, and I think I ought to be true to myself and true to my God.
Yes, sir.
I want to apologize to one of the former prime ministers who I criticized on many issues.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's alive, I think I ought to do the right thing.
Sure.
I want to apologize to Mr. Hubert A. Ingram for criticizing him on some issues.
Which issues did you criticize him on?
Some issues, some stand that he took now, I now understood why he fired some of those people and sent some home.
Mm-hmm.
I say no more on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. Is that it?
Is it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for that. Did we have a confession today? Thank you so very much. All right. Matt Aubrey from ORG is on the line. My brother, are you there?
I'm here. How are you, Anku?
I'm great, man. Good to hear your voice.
Thank you so much. I think I just want to call and commend the topic. It's a really important one.
Yeah.
And, as you saw, as you did your reading, there's a lot of external evaluations that look at what, they talk about what the global standard is
right.
and what the measure is. But it's also important to note that there is a significant amount of things we've done, some of which checks a box but doesn't achieve it. So you'll see on some of the minimums that, like freedom of information was passed in 2017, but we know that
right.
you can't go ahead and that's been the last 3 administrations.
Right.
You can't actually submit a freedom of information request.
Right.
But there is a sizable amount of information. Our fiscal responsibility law that then got moved into the public finance management law are pretty sophisticated, and if you measure them, they have many indicators of best practice. It's just that we're not accustomed or acculturated to use or look at that information. So often it's some of these things that could be picked up or dialogued early haven't happened. And a lot of these places where they have put these very comprehensive and accessible bits of information out, some of it is the inclination of government, but a lot of it is the call from the citizenry to say, we do want more information. We need it because we want to understand how just how you spent our money, but what came of that.
Right. And that's why I knew this topic was important, because we should be able to go online and be able to verify that money is being spent the way that we expect it to be spent.
we actually had a project last year. Ari Wells, our senior manager of outreach, led this. It was called Be Clear Bahamas, and it was teaching folks just about this of the government of the Bahamas. Just to familiarize yourself with what is out there, what are the steps, what are the opportunities for involvement.
Right.
And we did a pilot with high schoolers and with UB students, and it's amazing what they picked up on just what's already available.
Right.
There were a lot of questions about what else could be there and what they wanted to know, and the in-depth part of it, which a lot of that is coming up in the last couple of days. But if we provide the training at early levels for folks to be familiar with the systems that we're governed in, they can really play a meaningful role. And it doesn't take advanced degrees. It really just takes plain language and the opportunity.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making today, is that we have to participate in the process so that people aren't given the opportunity for 3, 4, going on into 5 years without really being challenged until the political season.
Right. When it happens just temporarily or for obvious political advantage, it's a great show, but it doesn't really give you an opportunity to do much with it, right?
Exactly.
So thanks for bringing the topic up. So I'll go back to listening. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. So we're going to run to a break here on Talking Heads. Again, my name is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Ankusa Ra, sitting in for Naughty and MJ, and we'll be back after this. Keep it locked.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more, there's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
A paid political message by the Free National Movement's candidate for Fort Charlotte, Travis Robinson.
Fort Charlotte, stand up! Bahamas, wake up! All across this nation, time to see the truth clear now. Tell Brave and Sebas, all money ain't good money. FNM, we ready. The poor man, but the poor man can't see no plan. Sebas get rich, now we run the land, while Bahamians catching hell again. Big mansion, big cars, big talk, but can't walk, the people walk. All that money and still can't rest. Power hungry, heart can't bless. All money ain't good money, brave you know. You sell the soul of the nation for a number show. Sebas County Million FNM say no. Fort Charlotte rise, let the truth flow. All money ain't good money.
A paid political message by the Free National Movement's candidate for Fort Charlotte, Travis Robinson.
KFC got that crispy onions crunch, take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wow. Burrito bun soft like a cloud on this ride. KFC, get chicky with it. Hey. Taste the sweet side of things. Every single bite, so lit it. Got my whole crew doing that thing. Crispy onion, sweet onion sauce. Pepper jack cheese going on.
Introducing the new Sweet Chicky Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
Let's get chicky with it.
You're listening to Talking Heads only on Guardian Radio 96 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Kane is in the building.
And we're back here on Talking Heads with your host, Kahunanku Sarah, sitting in for Naughty and MJ. Let's see what the gas prices look like today. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Okay. So the gas tracker shows us that Rubis is at 664, Esso is at 658, and Shell is at 664. Diesel is $7.20. Oh my gosh. Diesel is gas high already, and diesel is even higher. All right. So wow. I've been hearing the talk about raising the bus fee. Please, y'all don't do that to the people. I feel for the bus drivers though, because they getting hit right now. This text says, Uncle, you come from a very well-connected Bahamian family with roots that go back to the founding of the Bahamas. Why haven't you run for a political office or made a bigger public impact on reshaping the Bahamas into the ideal country and role model for the rest of the Caribbean, the African countries, and the rest of the world? Well, Dexter, first of all, who knows? I may run one day. I don't know. I have no plans to. Definitely not in this election, right? Or even in the next one. But let me just say this: I have, as a citizen of the Bahamas, I've assisted with opening a school, which I think definitely helps to shape the Bahamas into the ideal country, right? That we wanted to be, a Caffrey International Academy. I with Dr. Jacinta Higgs and Rhonda Wright. My wife, Aminette, teacher Fritz Enius. We came together. We and others, Joan Rowe. Like I started calling names. If I miss you, sorry. But we helped to open up a school that has the values, along with the education that we feel would help this country. I also started the Holy Coptic Church of the Black Messiah, which is a church that is a teaching church and does more than the screaming and the hooping and the hollering. Of course, we need collection like everybody else, but at the end of the day, the main thing is we got to give you or teach you how to fish instead of just giving you fish, right? So there's a church. My great-grandfather started the Church of God, W.V. Enius. He and his wife, Arabella Ferguson Enius. And then, of course, I've also been on radio now for many years, kind of guiding the public discourse. So there are many different ways to go about reshaping the Bahamas. In many instances, I think politics is a way that you can assist, but you got to remember when you get into the political arena, there's what's called a whip. You understand? They will whip you into what they want you to be for the interest of the political party. So in many instances, that could actually limit my ability to reshape the Bahamas. Also, since you asked, I'm the first author out of the gate in the new history book that was released in the schools this year. I was grateful to be a part of that team. And so the first chapter on Africa is one that I was privileged to write. So I think I'm doing my part. But if you got some money for me to run, let me know, because 50 millionaires running. So if you got a couple of million to put behind me, let me know, man. You know what I'm saying? This text says, "Good afternoon, Pastor. Gas is $6.95 at Esso today." Wow. I do apologize. Wow, that's 3 days ago. You say, Dexter? $6.95. So it's almost $7 at Esso. Wow. Coming to the phone lines right now. Let me just get to this next text. Doc, they can't afford to raise the bus fare. Election right there. But if the PLP win, trust me, that fare will go up. Wow. Let's go back to the phone lines here on Talking Heads. Call you live.
Yeah, good afternoon, Uncle.
Hey, Cleve, how you doing?
Pretty good. When I look at all this wasteful spending at beach and park, or park and beach, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
All right? It's just embarrassing to see where we are as a country. And these people parading around as if they did something so spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, this is the highest elected office in our country, Uncle.
Yeah.
These gentlemen, they aspire to be, but, we don't use common sense and intelligence for voting people in, nor we require them to have common sense and intelligence. What we see after we would have voted for them, absence of a national development plan. Bunch of clowns, you know, and I can speak like that because I have a vested interest in this thing. I'm a taxpayer, and some of that money is my money.
Of course.
And I don't want no PLP troll calling after me, calling out my name. You know, if they're coming after the message on Kuman, but you can't allow them to come after my name, you know?
No, definitely. No, we ain't allow that, man.
Let them attack the message. But, but my point is, Anku, $141 million, right?
Yeah.
How many environmental costs we have in the Bahamas?
That's a good question. How many do we have?
We don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
If we have any.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can spend $141 million for people to drop garbage on the same spots that you clean today, tomorrow. If you go, and we had serious investigative journalists and reporters in this country, they would have examined each and every one of those spots that we spend those millions of dollars for to maintain. And I can guarantee you, because look at the island, look at New Providence itself. Does it look clean to you?
So anything I have seen is plenty pushing down bush.
Exactly. So we know these things are inflated. We know these contracts are padded. We know this. But why would you spend $141 million saying you beautifying and cleaning up the Bahamas when someone can come and litter and bring that state right back to a deplorable state tomorrow or later this afternoon?
Right.
You see, so you have to put some mechanisms in place if you're legitimate about spending this money.
Yeah.
To make sure that once you do it, that means that's waste. We are dirty again, the bush are growing up again, and $141 million is missing.
Wow.
Meanwhile, someone in that dialysis unit isn't getting the proper blood care treatment because of the lack of dialysis machine in this country.
Wow.
I mean, these people got to be out of them. These people got to be out of their mind.
Yeah.
They really got to be out of their mind and to be doing this nonsense and then asking people to vote for them again.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, each and every, then you look at the travel expense, another wastage, $250-something million on consultants.
Yeah.
You see the arrangement, the financial arrangement that is in place for the permanent secretary who was called out, who was wearing PLP paraphernalia.
I missed that. What happened there?
His arrangement in the paper, according to what I read, is over $200,000.
Oh, yeah. I did see that. $213,000 a year.
Right. Out of retirement, they call him back in just the type of arrangement. I would probably wear 6 or 7 PLP shades, too, at one time. If you check him, he might have had on but 5 shades underneath that one shade that we saw on the top. You know, because imagine that type of arrangement. Some young people, some young person who would have matriculated and who applied themselves and perhaps in position, you're going to bring him back to act as another permanent secretary after he's already done his time?
Yeah.
And we can't, and we're not getting results for these monies that we are spending. So I keep saying, Anku, until we have a DOGE concept, meaning a Department of Government and Efficiency, for these people to be accountable for this money, because it's our money, and my grandson got to pay this money back.
But they say that we have the Auditor General, Luke Lever.
I don't know what you say?
We have the Auditor General.
I know the last time I checked, Mr. Bastian had retired. I don't know whether or not he was replaced or he came back. I don't know. But we don't have no proper auditing in this country. But before it even gets to auditing, we're supposed to have proper checks and balance before this money is released.
Yeah.
You're going to have Mr. Barnaby, a novice, a political novice, handling that kind of a budget? And wasting money and then talking you could give an account for every dollar.
He said everything is accounted for. You just calm down. Everything is accounted for. That's what he said.
I mean, this is just unbelievable. And we are not up in arms. Persons in PMH right now can't get bed space. And by the way, Anku, the same hospital that we are trifling with the Chinese with is going to land this country in big problems, you know.
You think they can build it? You think it can get built?
I don't know what you say.
You believe it can get built?
I don't believe it can get built because I don't know why we didn't even try to sign it during the silly season and the height of the silly season.
Listen. That's why they break in ground now because
of the silly season.
Yes.
Must be very careful because I don't know if they understand how foreign policy works, and but I could be saying if we need to get permission from the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
to hire healthcare workers, permission, we are still waiting on permission, you know.
Yeah. But Cleaver, they say
healthcare workers.
They say we
Yet
have.
on the other hand, and some people, I don't understand it. They say I suck up to the U.S. or I might as well move to America or stuff like that. But these people who are talking, Uncle, need to take a jog around that U.S. embassy on Shirley Street, you know. I can't. That thing is so huge. I can't jog around that at my age.
Wow.
I have to start jogging and walking. You think that just built there just for visas?
No.
That's a lot of power. They have a bigger presence in this country than our own government. So that has to be there for something. But if we don't watch out and we go in bed with China by giving up our sovereignty, because I believe when you sign a deal in another jurisdiction, that project becomes I believe it's subjected to the laws of that jurisdiction where you sign it.
I've heard that. I don't know how true that is, but it is worth looking into.
And 2 more seconds. Do you know whether or not this hospital is going to come furnished?
I don't know.
With all of the equipment?
I know it ain't coming all the doctors.
I mean, we know that for sure until we get permission. But I believe when you look at that $200 and something million, I don't believe that coming fully furnished and fully equipped with all of these equipment.
I'll look it up.
And see, they're not giving us the details on these things.
Yeah, but let me say this before you go.
Handle this situation.
Let me say this before you go.
Because it's a new administration, and I believe that we are not speaking to U.S. on this matter because of personality conflicts in terms of Trump's policy or who's president.
But listen to this.
That's the only reason we didn't go over and meet with the
Listen to this, Cleaver. Listen to this.
President on this matter.
Listen to this, Cleaver.
All right.
Texas said we have a Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah.
It's the delivery unit. Their sole function is project management. Go look that up. The Department of.
But I know it don't exist. I know it don't exist.
That's what they say.
I know it's probably in the
appreciate
archives something, but we don't have a Department of Government Efficiency.
I can look it up. We gotta look it up. Texas says, yeah. Appreciate your call, Cleaver. We got a couple more minutes before the break. Let me just get through these callers, and then I want to understand whether or not we actually properly utilizing these allotted funds. I'm going to go through some stuff, but let's get to the next caller. Caller, you live. Caller going once. All right, let's get to the next caller. Caller, you live.
Yeah, what's going on, Uncle?
Yeah, 52. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I would say nothing new. My words would be a few. Unto you, Uncle, right?
Yes, sir.
So, there was a caller who called earlier, and so he was talking about the comments by Latrell Raman. First of all, me and Pa grew up together, so I don't want to say we'd always do together, but
okay.
I was taken aback because the integral, the word of the day is accountability, which is very simple. So he spoke about no government is perfect, et cetera. And, he admitted they're not perfect and stuff like that. But, I mean, if you're accountable, then that will show sincerity, and that will bypass your incompetency or your inconsistencies or even your irregularities. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have any oversight. When governments are, like I said before, when governments are allowed to meet with transnational companies and billionaires and the likes, right, without an oversight, then, it's just whatever fable under the table. You get what I'm saying? And so I joke before I go because I think the term permanent secretary is a misnomer because they're not there permanently. So I don't know if that's British or we are so robotic or automatic. I don't know. Just permanent secretary. No one is there permanently. Give thanks in prison.
Yes, indeed. 52. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're live. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Uncle. Good afternoon.
Hey, my brother. How you doing? Thanks for calling.
My brother, I'm great. I just want to piggyback on something that the Cleaver was saying. I want everyone to realize and take a real good look at our U.S. embassy that was built. That embassy is built. That is a bigger entity than our own prime minister's office down the road there. And look where it's built, in the heart of our city. And if you believe for a second that embassy built that size is only sitting there for visas, then we have a lot to take in, because I can tell you, they're not going to invest that kind of money into a facility that size. You don't even know what all is in there. and they just bill it for billing's sake. That isn't there just for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the idea that our government right now, when, you know, we have been more or less, well, more to say partners with the United States in a lot of the initiatives that they did for the Bahamas. And in fact, if you really look at it, they're really helping to protect the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, some of the things that they do say we have to take, or a lot of the things that they say we should really partner with them, take them into consideration, because it is really them too who actually comes to our rescue in our times of needs and so on and so forth. We need to really start, create the strong relations, even more stronger in the relations that we have with them now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we as Bahamians, we must pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
This tension between the U.S. and China, I don't know how the Bahamas got in the middle of it, but hey, we are in the middle of it, and I guess we just got to continue trying to play chess instead of Chinese checkers. But anyway, I leave it at that for now. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate the call, man. Yeah, let's go right back. Let's go right back to the phone lines. I got something else to share, but let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're live.
I'm good.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Tell me something.
Go ahead.
Tell me something right now.
Mm-hmm.
How the PLP party
Mm-hmm.
turned into a bunch of leaders, into a bunch of followers.
What you mean by that?
I mean, the initial party.
Mm-hmm. You mean from
Finland time.
Finland time, okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
was leaders of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals who had their own thinking.
I can tell you what happened. They
try to help
they held
poor
on.
people, bro.
Hold on, they held on to power too long. They didn't create more leaders. They are part of the reason why this next crew is just so used to following foot for foot behind whoever was there before. So
exactly.
So they created this mindset. If when they got into power, they had to fight. No, the UBP didn't give Penland and Eddie Hanna and Milo Butler, etc. They didn't give them the power. They had to fight for it. But the leaders that came up behind, they just went and toe to toe and just sing and dance behind them.
Lotioning, man.
Okay, so that's why.
Man, and falling behind whatever decisions one man give them.
Right.
You understand what I said?
Mm-hmm.
They ain't helping their constituents or nothing. You understand what I said? This is supposed to be the party of the people.
Yeah.
We vote y'all in, bro. Bring him. You understand?
Yeah, man.
Mr. Mitchell, you was the chairman of the party. You telling people shut up and ding and all that foolishness. We make you all, bro.
Thank you, caller. I appreciate it. Talking Heads. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to go to the news. My name is Kahunan Kusara, also known as Dr. Cleveland WNES III. I'm sitting in for Naughty and MJ, and we'll be back with more after this. Keep it locked.
Then get busy on they see, that's how that shit down made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up. When times is hard, you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up. Already the show goes on all night till the morning we dream.
Foreign commercial banks have been closing across our islands. For thousands of Bahamians, our country's post office savings banks are a lifeline, providing safe and secure banking. But Michael Pintard says,
we will abolish the bank through the post office system.
That's a risk Bahamians can't afford. That's why the Prime Minister is making post office savings banks stronger to protect Bahamian families and small businesses who rely on them. Paid for by the PLP.
Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want to look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, want to step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place, is your place. Is your place.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm?
Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
KFC got that crispy onions crunch, take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wow. Burrito bun soft like a cloud on this ride. KFC, get chicky with it, hey. Taste the sweet side of things. Every single bite, so lit it. Got my whole crew doing that thing. Crispy onion, sweet onion sauce. Pepper jack cheese, going on.
Introducing the new Sweet Chicky Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
Let's get chicky with it.
Make Mother's Day unforgettable with Kelly's House & Home's Mother's Day sale starting Friday, May 1st through Saturday, May 9th. Save 20% on a lovely selection of dinnerware, glassware, luggage, silk flowers, and picture frames, except on net items. We have beautiful gifts that let Mom know just how much she's appreciated. Shop early and enjoy 20% off at Kelly's House & Home during our Mother's Day sale May 1st through 9th. Happy Mother's with love from Kelly's House & Home.
You're listening to Talkin' Heads only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on.
And we're back here on Talking Heads with your host, Kahunanku Sarah, sitting in for none other than Naughty and MJ. Appreciate you all listening. Appreciate the text. Appreciate the calls. Before we go back to the text line and the phone line, just wanted to read a couple of things. Someone was texting about what they call it? They call it a Department of Government Efficiency. So there's no official Department of Government Efficiency within the Bahamian government structure. Instead, efficiency and reform initiatives are managed by several specific units and ministries within the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Labor and the Public Service. So you have key efficiency and reform units. Prime Minister's Delivery Unit, or the PMDU. This unit oversees major government reforms and priorities. It uses data to track outcomes across all ministries to ensure public services are delivered effectively and to improve the quote-unquote ease of doing business in the country. There's the Ministry of Labor and Public Service, led by Minister Pia Glover Roll. This ministry is responsible for the 10-point plan to reimagine the public service, which focuses on modernizing antiquated procedures, digitizing HR processes, and addressing productivity. As the Department of Information and Communication Technology, the DICT, I got to spell a lot slow. Anyway, this department handles the government digitization for competitive strengthening project, which aims to bring over 200 government services online through portals like My Gateway to reduce bureaucratic costs. Then there's the e-procurement unit. The Ministry of Finance recently implemented the Go Bonfire e-procurement platform, which has reportedly saved the government millions of dollars by streamlining and adding transparency to the contracting process. All right, this is on the Bahamas Gov website, all right? So you can check it out. The other thing that I wanted to just touch on briefly before we go back to the phone lines is someone asked about who's furnishing this hospital. In Providence, Specialty Hospital will be fully operational, a fully operational medical facility whenever they build it, whenever they complete it. The financing for its contents is split between China and the Bahamas. So while China Export-Import Bank is funding approximately 73%, or $195 million of the project to build a mega structure, quote unquote, the Bahamian government is responsible for the remaining 27%, which is $73 million, to furnish the hospital with specialized medical equipment. So the funding breakdown for furnishing and equipment, China's portion primarily covers the construction of the multi-story reinforced concrete building. The Bahamas' portion, the Ministry of Finance, will secure approximately $73 million to procure actual medical and diagnostic tools, including advanced imaging such as CT and MRI scanners, lab equipment, diagnostic and laboratory facilities, specialized units, equipment for surgical suites, maternal and pediatric wards, and intensive care services. All right. And then, of course, there's the morgue facilities, a new reference morgue designed for mass casualties. All right. There will be some American participation. Though China is the primary lender for the building, the Bahamian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has stated that much of the high-tech medical equipment will be supplied by American vendors under standard commercial terms. All right. So just a quick breakdown. Someone was asking earlier in the show. Just wanted to make sure I shared that. Let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio. All right, Talking Heads. Caller, you live.
How you doing?
I'm great, man. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. Okay, listen. I am a very concerned citizen, and I want the Bahamian people to hear me.
Sure.
It's about time we stop all this foolishness that's going on with government. You always wonder why some of these lawyers, doctors, and stuff quit their successful job and go into politics.
Right.
We need to ask the UK and the United States to bring up charges on Brave Davis concerning this travel situation. Keith Dell and then borrowed $220 million, couldn't give an account for the houses, come back, borrowed $240 million, and still haven't given an account for these. He needs to be brought up on charges also. And then now we have Fred Mitchell with this foreign affairs and also with immigration and all that. We need to be able to hold these people accountable, just like if a Bahamian goes into a food store and steals something, they should be held accountable, put in jail, tried by the court, and if they're innocent, then that's it. But I feel like we need to put a stop to this because for many years, Brave Davis and them have gotten away with it. Now they're teaching other politicians how to do it.
So my thing is, Carl, thanks for calling. I mean, we've tried in this country to prosecute alleged, I guess, corrupt politicians, right, to no avail. So it's not that it hasn't been tried. It's not that people haven't been brought up on charges. It's just that either the AG office isn't bringing up solid cases, or there's a lot of rhetoric and not facts being spewed, right? Let's go back to the phone lines and I'll share something else with you. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Inez. Hope you're doing well today.
Hey, my brother. Thanks for calling, man. Yeah, man. Pray the same for you.
Yeah, man. I'm listening to this politics. I mean, this politics thing is just, I'm amazed other people just keep falling for it all the time and haven't figured it out yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this beaches and park thing, when Lisa Moxie Ingram was around and she had to talk to her. Because, she used to be a former house member, you know what I mean? And I called her and I said, from way back then, I said to Ms. Ingram, I said, Ms. Moxie, I said, it seems as if when one party gets voted out, the party that comes in, like, they'll get up and they'll start, like, taunting the party with things that they have done. You know what I mean? Like, they'll start talking about, like, how when Cartwright was in charge of beaches and parks, when there was administration came and they were talking about what was going on in beaches and parks as being something that was, you know what I mean, that was of concern, you know what I mean? And I said to Ms. Ingram that it seemed as if when they come in, they'd be like, boy, there's so much money in your teeth. Boy, they give your teeth more. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, you understand?
Yep, I hear you.
You know what I mean? Cause I say, and other people too, when they go in certain ministries and they be like, boy, there's so much they carry. Boy, I carry more. You understand? But see, the thing about it is that we cannot just focus on Mr. Bonamy himself because it's not totally his fault. It's our fault too because we didn't deal with Mr. Cartwright's situation when he was in charge of beaches and parks.
But he was clear of that.
That's right.
He was clear of that though.
No, but he was clear. The reason why he was clear, you'll understand this. Listen, if I'm seeing more or less on the same principle I just finished mentioning just now, I'm the new government, right? Now, you think I could prosecute you and send you to jail solely when I want to do what you did, when I want to do now what I punishing you for?
But what does that have to do with him being cleared?
No, cleared by who?
by the process. There was a process. They didn't just say he was cleared. They had to investigate.
But the only thing I heard about that, because I think I heard somebody that I heard that Mr. Cartwright himself announced that he was cleared.
No, but he didn't announce that on air. He had to be
No,
cleared.
but what I'm trying to say is that okay.
I hear what you're saying.
What
I'm not disputing that. I often look at, red and blue, right, or crab and fire as the same team. You understand? They just taking turns. They just taking turns.
Yeah,
I bet you on that.
So they're not gonna destroy the process that they want to enrich themselves with.
Right, the systems you mean? Yeah, I got you. I got
you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
You understand? But then they have to do certain things to make it appear
Right. Okay.
as if they're doing it.
So you're saying smoke and mirrors? What you saying?
Smoke and mirrors.
Okay.
You understand? Because even when they prosecute certain people, right? And I notice the individuals who don't get, you know what I mean? They normally don't get charged or sent to jail or held accountable. But what they do get is they even get enriched even more after the trial.
I got you.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So not until my brother, not until.
So I was about to ask you solution. What's the solution?
Yeah. Not until we as people of this country like really feel within ourselves that this is our country and that the decisions that they make affecting us and we really realize that and we really treat them like they're employees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And act like how some people in other countries they take to the streets, and they don't take to the streets with these little jokey march where they playing all kind of funny music and just laughing and giggling just going for the day. They go down there to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like how the taxi union did back in the day when they shut the country down or whatever the case is. We got to shut this place down and we got to demand accountability from these individuals. Like I was thinking to myself, what should happen to Mr. Barnaby, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they should snatch him up and send him down inside the police cell or something for questioning, right? And say, look, where the money is. And if he ain't going to say to him in the cell and say, when you're ready to talk, we can come for you. Like that's how we need to treat them. Like we need to treat them with that kind of
You want the police to become vigilantes?
You understand? We can't be looking at these individuals as if they. And the thing about it, and when they come out, right? When they come out, we used to be talking with them, laughing up with them. Man, listen, if that's the case, if we're not going to punish them by the law, then they are in the house and hold them accountable through legal means. When they come out, man, let's shun them in society, man. You understand? Come from let's shun them in society. Let's make the wealth that they stole from us. Let it be uncomfortable for them to enjoy in this country. Whenever you see them say thief, they thief them. What you understand? Coming from now?
I hear you.
Yeah, man. Look, if we got to do something, man, because like I said before, but all this talking ain't gonna get us nowhere, brother.
I hear you, man, but I appreciate the
call,
man.
Man. Peace and love.
Yeah, man. So according to the statements released by Barnaby, right, and the Progressive Liberal Party, the PLP, right, internal controls are in place to track the spending. This is what they're saying. The verification requirements. Every payment is reportedly backed by a valid contract, business license, and tax compliance certificate. They are direct payments. Funds are paid directly to verified vendor accounts rather than through intermediate third parties. The authority claims to maintain photographic evidence and documentation to confirm work was completed before payment was issued. I guess they didn't send no one to fix the box because plenty of the box ain't fixed. Or you got pictures of broken box, right? Evidence challenging the claim, all right? The critics are saying, right, despite repeated promises since 2021, the table audit reports no such documents have been made public during Barnaby's tenure, right? There are evasive responses. Reporters have noted that Barnaby has frequently dodged direct questions about the spending, recently refusing to engage with the press during his nomination for the upcoming general election. We all saw that. Then there are budget overruns. Budget documents reveal that the authority consistently exceeds its allocations. We just went through that at the beginning of the show, but what they're supposed to have a ceiling. Don't go over this. Most recently spending $25.1 million of its $29 million annual, $25.1 million of its $29 million annual budget in just the first 6 months. Just the first 6 months of the 2025-2026 fiscal year. There's a visual discrepancy. Public outcry often centers on the poor condition of facilities. That's what I was just talking about. With reports of broken playground equipment and unstable or unusable restrooms, despite the $141 million expenditure. Ultimately, while the authority maintains that the internal records exist, the lack of independent third-party audits means there is currently no public validation for the claim that every dollar has been effectively managed. So you can say what you want, but internal, show us. Show us. Or it's just a bunch of .bs. Let's go back to the phone lines. Call you live.
Hey, Uncle, how you doing?
Hey, my
Alan
brother.
Johnson here.
Hey, my brother.
Let me just respond to a couple of the people, right?
Sure.
Right. First, let me start off by saying that it is absolutely true. We do need a political reset.
Mm-hmm.
And what you mean by a reset is stopping what is not working and rebuilding public leadership based on competence, accountability, and national purpose. That is what a reset means.
Agreed.
Not thing. Now, I always hear these demands about going downtown and doing all of these things like we used to do and what other people do. The most powerful thing is the people did not randomly went downtown on the Burma Road March and all these things. They had leadership that could inspire and motivate the people to act. So wanting it and not being able to identify leadership that has the capability and competence to communicate the message of what is wrong and the change that is needed, and to convince the people that their collective action must be taken, must take place, is just rhetoric. And I tell people all the time, if you can identify what the need is, don't wait for someone else to stand up. You do it.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
And so, but to another point, right? Every bit of information, every bit of expenditure, all of the 130 questions left on the table for this session of Parliament, probably the 300 less from the other break that we did in 2023, right? 500 questions has been left on the table. All the questions we have asked, all the questions that the media have asked, all the answers are there. So all Bonavie or Benavie, his name is saying, is repeating that, yes, the information is there, but you don't get to see it.
Right.
You don't have the right to see it.
You who we working for don't get to see it. Right.
There you go. It's like, because these monies and accountabilities don't just disappear. They're transferred, and whether there's a small trail or a big trail, they're there. Which brings us to this conversation of freedom of information, transparency. We are locked into literally a 19th century method of record keeping. Mind you, we're in the 21st century now, right? So when you hear people talk about these things, yes, they're possible, but they will still get lost until actually 5 steps are taken in this country. Because this is really in the 21st century: digitization, digitalization, datamation, datification, which will then lead to our digital transformation. We have had government who have spent billions, maybe $1 billion or $2 or $3 billion, less than some of these companies that are $1 trillion companies. Now we've spent more than them on technology, and we can't get digital documents in real time. We can't fill out forms in real time.
No.
You know what we say? Look how we're transforming the way we do business. This is what this government has argued. We have brought together all of the government offices you have to be able to talk to in one place, and you could come down and get everything done.
Come on.
What the hell? What? You mean I can't use my phone on my laptop to do this?
Yeah.
Which brings us to the point, right, is of needing to, because oftentimes we also talk about who, what, when, where, why, which, but no one been able to ever touch the how. But the strong governance sequence that I would like for us to learn, so we don't be running out talking about pothole. Like, do you know we spend $300 million a year for Ministry of Works to do what these MPs say they do also?
That's the crazy part. They're using our money to campaign. That's basically what they're doing.
Right. So so the question is, when I have to have an MP patch the road or put in speed bumps or fix the light and things, what are we paying BPL for? What are we paying Ministry of Works for? What are these hundreds of millions of dollars a year going for?
Right.
But it comes to understanding the process, right? Just let me explain these. I think it's like six over my head. It's like 8 things, right? Let me close my eyes to do this. Legislation, regulations, policies, rules, program, process, procedures, and protocols.
Okay.
Legislation translates public will into law. Regulations translate law into enforceable detail. Policies translate authority into strategic intent. Rules translate policy into requirements and limits. Program translate priorities into action. Processes translate action into organized workflow. Procedures translate workflow into steps. And protocol translates steps into discipline, conduct, in specific situations. That's how government has to be run. But because we allow them to tell us how government is run, you imagine you let your employees come into your store and tell you how to run things, onto your farm, tell you, or into your church and tell you this is how church service is going to be run and conducted, and this is what is going to be taught. And they have no knowledge of it.
Right.
Because we knew who they were. You know, my mom used to tell me this, right? She used to ask me, I'm going to go after this. She used to say, what do you call an idiot? You give a title. And I scared to answer. You know, she said,
what?
It's an idiot with a title. And she says, what do you call an idiot you put in a suit? I was still afraid to answer. She said, son, it's an idiot in a suit. And then she used to ask me, say, what do you call an idiot you put in a suit and give a title? For which the answer would have been then an idiot. Today, I'd most likely say a member of parliament.
Thank you. Thank you, C. Allen. You know, see these quote unquote idiots, these members of parliament, they're coming out of us, the community, the people, right? And so we keep pointing at these leaders, right? And not necessarily doing our part, right? Which is why we're having these conversations, because you can't tell us that everything there and it's accounted for, but we can't see it. That's nonsense. You work for us. That's nonsense. You deserve to be fired if that's the way you're going to act towards us. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you live.
Hey, a pleasure. Good afternoon, Uncle.
Thanks for calling.
You're having a great day, buddy.
Thank you. I am. I pray you are too.
That's good. Listen, I think the problem is that, you know, for the last couple of years, we've been voting government out. Right?
Yeah.
And we've been giving them supermajority. That Parliament is just, you know, it's
lopsided.
And then, you know, what happens is that just about everybody who isn't appointed to the cabinet, they get a particular chairmanship or another, you know, in one of these departments. And according to them, under the Westminster system, they can't speak out against their government.
Right.
So we really don't have nobody in the backbench. We don't have anybody who to even criticize the government, except for the opposition and whatnot. And like they look at 4 people.
Right.
Who is 4 people? They ain't got no say.
Right.
And so I think that is where the abuse of power comes in. You know? But I hope this election be close.
Yeah.
I hope that it doesn't. You know, we don't have this. You know, even if you want to get rid of this government, man, you know, that
everybody was in bad. Everybody was in bad. We can't give. Yeah, I agree.
You know, just, you know, so we can have some sort of balance. Like, you know, Reese Chipman said it's nothing wrong with the system, you know. It's just when these governments get in, they don't follow the rules. The government don't obey their own rules.
Wow.
You have the Public Accounts Committee, which is designed by Parliament. This goes way back from early colonial times, right? It was put in place to check Parliament spending. When the opposition called for the people to come before the thing. But the Prime Minister told the Attorney General told the people, listen, you all don't have to go. You know. So what is that telling you?
Yeah.
You know, the very laws that were designed to
They
by
get-
Parliament.
Right, and that trickles into the regular person who says, well, I don't have to follow the law.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying, that if you have a disciplined government who follows the law, your citizens will do the same thing.
Yeah.
But if the people look around and say, "Oh man, I ain't gotta go," or this one, that's the same type of attitude that your citizens are going to have.
That's right.
And you know, they have to be the example. They have to show accountability. You know, how is it, Mr. Mikhail Barnaby? I don't know what his declaration was. I was trying to find it in 21 as to how much money he had in the bank. But he showed in the last declaration that he has over $700,000 cash money sitting up in the bank. Now, we have a so-called person who's supposed to be responsible for all of these declarations and whatnot. And he's supposed to be, according to Dr. Minnis, when his income increased by $4 million, he should have been called in and say, "But a minute, I see that your income has increased by $4 million.
Right.
I'd like to know where did the $4 million come from?"
Right.
You know, he should have been called in. And so, you know, that is why you have these so-called checks and balances in place, so that at this point in time, we should have already known exactly where these people were, and all of these 51 millionaires or whoever who salaries increased over that time. We should have known from last 2 years exactly how their finances were going.
So for
It's
Miss
just that the system
in
the
2021,
system that were put in place, so much corruption in these political appointees, they don't want to speak out against their masters because they know they get them a little contract or they're getting some money here, and so they don't do their job, man.
right?
And that is the problem with our society.
Yeah.
We want a orderly society. Let the government has to lead by example.
Yeah. Thank you for calling. So as far as Mr. Mikhail Barnaby's last two public financial declarations, they show a significant increase in his net. That's subjective, I guess. Significant increase in his net worth as he prepares for the May 12, 2026 election. So in his most recent filing for nomination in April of 2026, Barnaby reported a net worth of $1,504,389. Total assets, $1.9 million, which includes savings of $704,059, real estate, $741,812, personal property, $303,000, vehicles, $71,000, accounts receivable, $126,000, and an annual income of $213,000, with liabilities of $441,510, of course, according to the Tribune. In 2021, before we go to the break, for his initial run in 2021 general election, Barnaby's declared net worth was $841,403, with total assets of $102 million, annual income of $200,000, and liabilities of $422,597. So Barnaby's net worth increased by approximately $662,986 over his 4.5-year period. While he is among several candidates to report higher wealth since 2021, these disclosures have faced criticism from local commentators and the U.S. Department of State because of the Public Disclosure Act does not require these figures to be independently audited or verified before publication. All right, that's what Dr. Ian Strawn and Reverend Stubbs was talking about. We got more texts to get to, more calls to get to. We got to pay some bills. Back after this. Keep it locked on the Talking Heads.
The world is theirs, yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything, even start a world war for these ghetto girls and boys. I'm rapping around the world for Africa to New York, Haiti then I detour, Oakland out to Auckland, Gaza Strip to Detroit. Say hip hop on the Detroit.
North Andros, it's your time. The F&M Fire Forward Rally is coming to North Andros. We're coming to F&M headquarters on Queens Highway, Thursday, April 23rd at 8 p.m. Come here from Carlton Bowleg, Serpent Road, Dr. Nicholas Fox, Vandia Stewart, your candidate, Janice Oliver, and our next Prime Minister, Michael Pintard. North Andros, come and hear how the F&M will work for you. 8 p.m.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
5 years of POP rule. Are you better off today? While you work, they've spent millions on taxpayer-funded trips, a government-funded luxury car, and handed out hundreds of millions in no-bid contracts. But for the rest of us, gas and groceries through the roof, VAT on bread basket items, healthcare that is broken, unaffordable, and out of reach. And it's not just your wallet. For 5 years, illegal immigrants have flooded our communities, putting excessive pressure on our schools, our housing, and our social services. As they flood in, families fall behind. Under the F&M, there will be a change. The F&M has a plan to address the rising cost of living, secure our borders, protect Bahamians from illegal immigrants, and fix our health care. Because the F&M knows I work for you and not the few. This message was paid for and authorized by the Free National Movement.
The Whopper with cheese at Burger King Nassau has never tasted so good. It's made with 100% flame grilled beef that's juicier, topped with fresh ingredients as usual, and even fluffier buns. Get a regular Whopper with cheese combo for only $9, including VAT, and enjoy a Whopper that's bigger, better, and tastier. The only place to get your Whopper with cheese combo is at Burger King Nassau, where it's grill time anytime.
North Andros, it's your time. The F&M Fire Forward Rally is coming to North Andros. We're coming to F&M headquarters on Queens Highway, Thursday, April 23rd at 8 p.m. Come here from Carlton Bowleg, Serpent Road, Dr. Nicholas Fox, Vandia Stewart, your candidate, Janice Oliver, and our next Prime Minister, Michael Pintard. North Andros, come and hear how the F&M will work for you. 8 p.m.
You're listening to Talkin' Heads only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
And we're back here on Talking Heads. Hosting today is none other than Kahunanku Sarah, also known as Dr. Cleveland W. Winius III, also known as Coach Trey, one of my swimmers out there listening. And I appreciate y'all listening. Listen, accountability. This text says, accountability means being responsible for your actions and being willing to explain or answer for them. Ownership means you accept what you did, good or bad. Responsibility means you understand your role in what happened. Answerability means you can explain your decisions or behavior to others. Consequences mean you accept the results, including fixing mistakes if needed. And for example, if someone misses a deadline and admits it, explains why, and works to correct it, that's accountability. Thank you very much, Dexter. Let's see here. Why scores of idle workers at Environmental Health Ministry of Works, etc.? What are the oppositions and government formulating collectively to instill accountability? Well, the systems are in place. We just got to follow them. Accountability is not a hard thing when you just follow what's in place. You got the ability to audit. You got the ability to publish. BahamasBudget.gov.bs. But if you ain't publishing, then it's just .bs. You understand? This text says, it's amazing how the new hospital has changed from one for women and children to now critical care, trauma, surgical, etc. Please, Mr. Darville, it's really amazing. We're not stupid. If we elect these people again, they will be billionaires at the end of their term. Callie live here on Talking Heads.
Hello?
How you doing, man?
You mean me?
Yes, Papa. That's you.
Respect.
Respect, brother.
The people know you as a producer, one of the best we get in the world. You and Kermie come from back in the days.
Kermie trained me, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you to get trained? Yeah, you younger, eh?
Yeah. Kermie trained me.
Yeah. Who else was there?
Brody.
Leah wasn't there too, eh?
Leah was actually doing it at
Island?
no, she's at 97. She's at Love 97.
Oh, yeah. That's where they used to be.
Yeah.
And Kermie and you gone from out west to Darswell.
Yeah.
I respect you highly. Hey,
thank you, brother.
What do you name? Nuri was talking, what they say, sarcasm or something like that?
Yeah, it's a satire.
Yeah, but he had some what you call them? They say they ain't no American, they ain't no African. I think they say they're Jew.
The Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and what you teaching and what I grew up with, what I grew up knowing in the church is different from what you used to be teaching. And what they were saying was kind of different. I don't want you all to debate row or nothing, but you can't hook up with them. I think they're here for a couple of days and maybe bring them on or get them online when they go back a couple of days.
He called me, so it may happen. We'll see.
Huh?
Nuri called me, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Cause it's like everything different. Yeah. And what I really call to say, I was listening to the callers them talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this the best. Oh, first of all, anyhow, what I think is that this is the best life ever for some of these politicians who are here right now. They living good on the backs of us, and when you ask them questions, the words you all use, you say they so flippant. It's sad. You need to send them home.
But Papa, they coming in the game with millions. These you got 50+ millionaires.
Well, why they don't carry one check down there to the Red Cross? The Red Cross come on phone and we say we find there's 50 of them.
Yeah.
They say they need more money, although we had a fair the other day. Why y'all don't write a check to Edison Sumner or care down there to the director, operation, or the president? If y'all get any shame, y'all get all that money.
Yeah.
Some of y'all might have stand gifts, so I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking about y'all who don't help the people like the Red Cross. They in need.
Yeah.
Make yourself look good and send one check there. Then you could maybe put it online or talk about it or whatever. But just to say, I hear the people them saying, but we need to stop voting out governments and all of that. If you deal with the Bahamian port, look how they spending our money, man. Look how they carry on.
Yeah.
And they think like all are supposed to be stupid and accept that. Some of us Bahamian people, we ain't used to nothing. So when you get people getting you $5,000 or $10,000 on the road, oh, your daddy never gave you them kind of things. So you're crazy with the party. But God willing, I hope the Lord could open our eyes. People say don't mix God up in it. But I hope our eyes could be open for y'all who could see. Let's vote them out. I still voting for the PLP. You know why? You know why?
Right.
You get a lot of spiteful people, y'all, who could see and stuff like that, right? Maybe some disabled people do. They jealous of one another. You all jealous of one another who could see. Imagine a blind person. But even if they don't, listen, if they went and I didn't vote for them, they would treat me bad. But I believe even though I voted for them, they would still treat me bad. But I put my faith in God. That's why I go open my mouth and tell the Bahamians, my party need a time out. They need a time out. They need to go home. They don't care. It don't seem like they care about us.
Wow.
They're around here walking around and caring only. They care about somebody spending our money, how they want, spending the money, wasting the money. Then they talking all kind of lies, how you say it, mistruth to us. Telling us all kind of fools. It's like we Bahamian people, we more than conquerors, like we stupid. You can imagine we put Brave them back in there again. If we put them back in there again, they can treat us worse than what they treat us now. You all can imagine the light bill, everything. You can hardly find food to pay or money to pay your rent, and you going to give them their pension. These newcomers, these bunch of political clowns, you're going to make sure they get a second term. No, man, don't do that, Bahamian people. You all like bad treatment. I thought the Bahamian people ain't like no bad treatment. Then the Trey Ramen coming on here talking to us, but we need to stop that voting out government. What else we could do? Take your foolishness, take your bad treatment, and don't vote you. That's all we get. None of you all giving us the recall system to be able to vote you all out. When we find problem, we prove that you are doing foolishness, mismanaging our funds. You know what the leaders them do, or what Brave been doing? He promote them, he give them a ministry for themselves. He don't make them an MP or dealer. We don't have the recall system. I don't care what y'all Bahamian people say who have a problem with me when I open my mouth or whatever, or don't like me. That ain't important. We don't have to like for one another to fight for the right cause or fight for righteousness. Y'all, please, Let's send these PLPs who, if with 10 of them, I think need to come back. But not in government, man. Not in government. Some of them is decent people.
Yeah.
Like Glennis Anna Martin.
Yeah, man, of course.
That's a decent woman. Alcides. That's another decent brother, nice and humble. Put right where right is.
Yeah.
Lightburn over there in Yamaha. People might disagree with me, but 1 or 2 or 3 of them need to come back.
You think about Pia Glover. See that you say? Pia Glover rule.
I thought she was nice. She ain't nice at all, but
Why you say
spend
that?
money and buy the people out. But they may still vote. She may be 1 of the 10. But listen to me. Sometimes with casualties, the good people get wiped out too. Please, I hope the Lord could open our eyes. And you could talk about me. I could go on the limb. Like I say, I vote for them. No, because I want to. And if I could see the future like God know what could happen, I wouldn't even vote for them, but I got to vote for them because they're saying I'm ungrateful. I'm not a good people. I could vote for you all, but I praying that you all lose and get out of Parliament. But they take advantage of us, but they treat us like conks. You can imagine that's the best life they live in. Look at when they declare. Some of them coming here with a couple dollars. Now, all of them, the majority of them is millionaires. Bahamian people, if you vote them back inside there, you hear why I have to do it. Because you are jealous of one another because they judge me who live in. God is good to me.
Yes. Thank you, Papa.
I do. Anyhow.
Appreciate it, brother. So the question is, did the government of the Bahamas properly utilize allotted funds as stipulated in the latest budget? Not fully. Right? Based on the latest public data, the government of the Bahamas had both over and underspending relative to the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget, plus a significant rise in unpaid bills and arrears. Here's what the official reports show for 2024-2025 fiscal year, right? Where spending was over budget. So the use of goods and services spent $691.6 million versus $687.3 budgeted, over 100% of the budget. Travel and subsistence, $17.2 million versus $12.5 million budgeted. Public debt interest, $672.4 million versus $613.2 million planned. 9.7% overdue to higher foreign currency obligations, they say. Current transfers, $231.4 million versus the budget, up 17.1% for scholarships, grants, UE, and court services. Now, where was spending under budget? All right, compensation of employees, $878.4 million was budgeted. $878.4 million versus $888.8 that was budgeted. So 888 was budgeted, 878 was spent. Subsidies, $401.6 million, 97.5% of the budget. Lower payments to water and sewage, UB, and Bahamas Air. So they didn't spend all of that. Social benefits, $233.7 million, 92.7% of the budget. Social assistance dropped 38.4% as COVID spending normalized. That's why that happened. All right. Rent, $110.5 million versus $120.8 million budgeted. All right. So they didn't spend all of that money. The insurance premiums, $71.1 million, down 11.5%. And then there were other payments of $302.5 million, 83.8% of the budget. So they didn't spend all of the money, right? Just being fair. But here's the bigger issue, right? The unpaid bills and arrears. The mid-year report flagged growing arrears, which mean money was allocated but bills weren't paid. So unpaid capital invoices rose from $4.8 million to $59.9 million. Arrears category jumped from $25 million to $60 million. Between December of 2024 and December of 2025, state-owned enterprise unpaid invoices, $9.9 million to $100 million. Government may have to cover these. The total debt increased $633.9 million to $12.4 billion, 75.1% of the GDP. All right? So they ain't paying the bills. The bills ain't getting paid. Call you live here on Talking Heads.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
What's up? Oh, boy, I didn't want to call your previous fellow who was on earlier. 'Cause he's talking about the immigrant problem. But we can't mix up the immigrant problem to no husband and wife. Husband and wife is a lifetime commitment. You know, this immigrant problem started because of slackness. And we allowed, listen, the first thing what they did wrong, how you could put a Haitian fella to be consultant to immigration. That was foolishness. See, a Bahamian is a Bahamian. I don't care if your mom and pa is Haitian, you is Haitian. I don't care where you born.
Right.
See, that's what we got to get in our head. And another thing, why we have Bahamas Air going there 3 times a week, what is the requirement for you to enter the Bahamas? You have an idea?
Well, you have to have your proper documentation, and then you have to say where you're staying and how long you'll be staying for, like any other tourist. But
but how much money they come with?
I don't know how much money they come with.
All right, then. See, that's the problem. That place ain't got no money, so they coming on here on the plane, loaded. How much people going back? We never hear any figure. Because the other day, the lady been on from immigration, and she said most of them who come here on visa. Well, then they coming and they ain't going back. So why will you continue that process?
So what you're trying to tell me is the plane is go back empty? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't think much people going back, according to what the immigration officer said. I tell you, that's them coming in. And then have to go round them up afterwards, wait the immigration. Man, we doing a lot of nonsense. Then another thing, I really am curious, how much citizenship was given out during this PLP administration? You ever get the figure?
No, I didn't get the figure.
Okay, I can leave with that one.
Yeah. Again, transparency. If we don't demand it, it'll never happen, right? But let's go back to the phone lines here on Talking Heads. Call you live.
Yes, sir. Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening. I'm well. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I have a prediction.
Go ahead.
Before I give this prediction, do you remember what the deficit was when Perry Christie lost?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay, the FNM was saying it was somewhere in the order of $800 million. Okay, I think when they finished with all the numbers, it came to $720 million. So my prediction is, should this government lose power, we will find out that this government have more than $1 billion in deficit when you look at all the bills that are unpaid. I'm not talking about the national. I'm talking about.
I understand what you're saying. I just read something that
unpaid. They will exceed $1 billion. What you think about that?
I think you're gonna be close. If not, if not under.
They ain't gonna be under. They can't be under because ain't nobody accounting.
Yeah.
No one is accounting. People are talking as if they're accounting, but like all the callers say, they think people stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This government have collected more money than any government in 5 years, and yet they increased the national debt by about $3 billion.
Yes.
I am told that over $200 million is being spent in Kiel Island and Eleuthera. I don't know if you know if that's a fact.
I don't know.
Okay. And then they turn around and say, "Oh, we can make Andros a city. Andros could be the next city." How is that possible with a BLP government?
Well, my thing is this: we ultimately, as a people, have to participate. You're asking the right questions, so this is where it starts. We got to ask the right questions, and then we got to demand that these things are accessible. We shouldn't have to ask. These things can be placed online, so you could actually just go and verify. The fact that you cannot do that is ridiculous, especially if these people are working for us, which they are working for us. I shouldn't have to come and ask you if I know that's what you're supposed to be doing. Just put it online. All right?
They supposed to be working for us. Is it true? Is it true that the expense for independence was $50 million?
But I don't know if that was confirmed.
But you heard it.
I heard it. I heard
What you think about that?
I ain't getting nothing. They could ask me. I was a part of it. I ain't getting it. You know what I mean?
But let me tell you something. If I was the next prime minister of this country, we wouldn't celebrate this counterfeit independence until we get the country debt down to zero. Because all that is a sham. Every little area, these and I hate to talk about lawyers like this, but most of these people who not in that field, that's why our justice system, anytime you have a case with high profile people and money show up in the court, justice is absent.
Yeah.
These people, man, it's amazing. Did you get a reading of that part from the law that Lincoln Bain had read? Why he said Sabas wasn't eligible?
No, I didn't. But I read. Yeah, I read that part. Yeah.
You read it. So my question is this: did the reading literally said he must gazette this stuff within
30 days?
Within 30 days.
Yeah.
You read that.
Yeah.
Now, did you hear the lawyers say that is not so?
Yeah, obviously, because he's still viable in the election. So
no, but you see this. You don't expect anything else to happen.
Right, but I said last week nothing can come out of it. I said that last week. I got to run because we got to get out of here. I appreciate you calling, caller. The Bahamas Immigration Department publishes detailed data on visitors' arrivals, work permits, and repatriations, but it does not include a breakdown of citizenship approvals in its public annual reports. That's crazy. These applications are processed by the Naturalization Unit, and their specific caseload volumes are traditionally kept internal. That's from the Bahamas Department of Immigration website. So we don't know how much people get naturalized. In any event, it's been a great show here on Talking Heads. I'm grateful to Naughty and MJ for allowing me to sit in and take the car for a drive around the block. Keep it locked here on 96.9 Guardian Radio. Fresh news, smart talk all day. Again, my name is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Namastu, family.
KFC got that crispy onions crunch. Take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wow. Burrito bun soft like a cloud on this ride. KFC, get chicky with it. Hey, taste the sweet side of things. Every single bite, so lit it. Got my whole crew doing that thing. Crispy onion, sweet onion sauce. Pepper jack cheese, going on.
Introducing the new Sweet Chicky Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
Let's get chicky with it.
This is the National Youth Guard program designed to train young people to help the Bahama Islands in times of disaster.
I decided to join to better serve my country as well as to better myself.
We train the help in search and rescue,
electrical, plumbing, and carpentry.
And things that they can actually expand on in their careers.
Young people who join the Youth Guard program discover a sense of identity, a sense of purpose, and a sense of patriotism.
This program isn't about only the individuals. It is about the country.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to